So I just saw a video, and I guess you took my idea when I was criticizing um, Conservative Mexican. Okay, so Conservative Mexican, what's going on YouTube? And I've been talking about the barges. Y'all seen Chico the Barge when he used to, back in the day, he used to sing with Joe and back in the 90s. Don't Conservative Mexican resemble Chico the Barge from the Barge family? I'm not lying, and it's weird because I've been talking about the Bible, the Barge story, and everything else. Okay, yes, yeah, I'm glad they're remaking that movie. Yes, I think they should remake that movie, and I think that I have three people that I believe is going to play the role. In my opinion, I think Colin Kaepernick. No, not Chris Brown. I'm sorry, you out the picture. No. Who else? Deadly, who's part Mexican, part African American descent, along with some white American on his dad's side, who's high yellow. Joseph Lamar, he should play the role, and Quincy Brown. Diddy's step son, Kim Porter's son, and Al B. Shore. Night and day, yeah, Al B. Shore's son. Okay. Anyway, so those three should play if they do a movie of Bobby the Borge. But Bobby the Borge's youngest brother, Chico the Borge, do kind of resemble, because our Mexican kind of resemble him, just a crackhead version of him. Okay, talking about conservative Mexican, not Chico. Okay, so let's get back to the subject of Chico. Excuse me. I'm not lying with that bald head and them eyes, and that Negro head shape. When this dude said he had some African DNA, I told y'all I wasn't lying. I told you he was Afro mestizo. I told you that he had European, Native, and African in him. I told you. Now, Kim 123, who also genetically Afro mestizo, Mr. BBC. That BBC. Who is Mexican and Peruvian, just like the PBS documentary Black in Latin America, Mexico, Peru, the Black Rabbit in the Closet, had made a reaction video about the 4th of July. And I think he saw my reaction, and so I'm going to give my reaction to him. There was some things I agree and disagree with Kim 123, and one thing about the gay marriage and gay rights. And one thing that Lewis, which is Mexican, was saying that the LGBT community is trying to get the pastors. And this dude, Kim 123, said that mostly in the area is mostly Catholic. Okay, truth of the matter is, and I'm an ex-Protestant, and so I know what I'm talking about here, okay? That yes, historically, the Hispanic countries, including French, like Haiti, and also Louisiana, which is part of my heritage, Creole, and I was brought up in there are Protestant Creole people. Because when they came from Texas, men lost their faith and went to black Protestant churches, which is come from white Anglican Protestant belief systems. That's what happens. Like, for example, Beyonce is Protestant. She's not Catholic. I think her mother was one period of time, Tina, but she became Methodist. They go to they belong to St. John Methodist Church in Midtown, Houston. So this Beyonce is Methodist. Me, when I became my Catholic faith, it was very big in the African American Creole Catholic Church. Dark to a high yellow, bright. Some look like Kim 133 and Lewis, and those look like white people. And when I Italian Americans, a Creole brother that left, that was a priest. He was the pastor. So in the Catholic Church, a pastor is a priest assigned to the church. Okay, so I don't see how this man who's Catholic. No, a lot of the folks who brought out Catholic just are culturally Catholic, and they're those who don't read the scriptures along with the Catholic church teachings from the Catechism. Like when I was going to, I used to go to the cathedral back in the early 2000s and late 90s. The white priest who was a former Baptist, like I am a former, he was saying that we make good Catholics as converts because many of us studied the faith. A lot of cradle Catholics don't. They just go to church because their mom and dad, go and they don't study and this and that, their faith. And that's true. They don't even know the faith. If you have old people, I never forget when I was in Bible study and I did with a Nigerian priest. Here we go. Back in 2002, I did a Bible health and the I'm going to Job Corps, and was having Bible study at my church. Okay, because the white priest, not the Thai one, left. I'm glad the Thai American one that gave me problems. I converted, left. But we had an Irish American one who died in 2001. Then we had a visiting priest who's from Nigeria, dark skinned Nigerian, and he had an evil attitude. I couldn't stand him. And not to say about the evil, that's how I noticed, because we had good Nigerian priests there that visit. And you had them Africans, yeah, and men of up here, they had them one dark, okay? And the color as priests, okay? Visiting priests. So this one here was very rude to me. I'll never forget that. So we had Bible study. And one of my aunt's friend's mother, which is their sons are friendly with, because even though my cousin, my aunt Protestant, she took my cousin to Catholic school. Okay, so the mother, okay, my cousin's friend's mother is one of my church members. Her parents, church members. And so her mother, when she still living? Okay, because I've been a while. Was saying us rocking shared Catholic. We know about this stuff that we're teaching from the Bible, that relates to our Catholic faith. And it's my cousin's friend's grandmother, okay? So, she the one, and I'm gonna let you know if I talk about one like Hispanic woman, okay, but she's Creole. She's the one that was in my business when our pastor, the priest, the Irish priest that died in 2001, right after 9/11. Aaliyah passed away, and Leah was Catholic. Aaliyah, the singer Aaliyah, was Catholic as well. Shaka Khan was Catholic as well. Whoopi Goldberg was Catholic. Brian Gamba, who's also Creole, him and his brother, they're both Catholic. It's a lot. The Game, who's Blaxican, it was Catholic too. Yes, The Game, the rapper. Dark skin, I attend Creole. Louise from New Orleans, which is a lot of African Catholic, especially Creole. New Orleans. He's Catholic. Yes, Louise. Yes, he is too. A lot of folks don't know this. For real. But and yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, she went to Catholic school and she was Catholic, and she later became Jewish. Diddy is Catholic. Diddy, mama was Baptist, but she took him to Catholic school in New York, just like Lil Kim went to Catholic school as well. Biggie Small, Jamaican Catholic as well. Yes, Biggie Small was Catholic as well. Okay, a lot of folks now know. Yes, and he went to private school. When he went to public school, that's when he started changing, started selling dope and leaving the school. But he was in private school back in the day. So Biggie Small was Catholic, and Diddy was Catholic. Yeah, Diddy probably don't practice the faith as much, but Diddy, while him going to Catholic school, he converted, and he talking about Sean Puffy Collins. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Lil Kim is Catholic. Lil Kim was Catholic. Yes, freaky Lil Kim. She was Catholic school too in New York, in New Jersey, wherever up there. Yeah, a lot of folks. I know a lot of folks too. When they went up north, if they did come from a Protestant background, who African descent, and the schools, the Catholic schools were very good in the African community, and many parents saw that better than private or public schools, so they took them and that's how many of them converted. Okay. Isaiah Thomas, Mary Thomas, that after what a play back in 30 years ago. You saw the mother, Mary Thomas story. She was Catholic, and actually is a big Catholic community in Chicago. And actually, speaking of history, the Haitian mulatto, part French, part black, the Sable, who went from Haiti to New Orleans and almost became a slave in New Orleans, won his freedom, and found Chicago. He was Catholic. So just that you know that a lot of history. Yes, Fat Dominoes is Catholic. Was Catholic. He's no longer here. He's a dark skinned Creole. The Neville brothers. Everybody plays the fool. Sometimes, and remember he runs song with Linda Rostow, who's part Mexican and German. I don't know much. I love you. Can't you please? I need you now. You got that? Okay. Yeah. Okay. He's off. Yeah. The Neville family, the Neville brothers, they're Catholic. Okay. Yes. A lot of folks. Yeah. A lot of folks don't be knowing this. And see, I do a lot of research. Yeah. Shaka Khan ain't nobody, and she's from Chicago too, and she's also Catholic too. Yeah. Ain't nobody love me better. Oh, makes me happy. Make me feel this way. Ain't nobody. Oh yes, baby. I love Mr. Shaka Khan. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes, I love Mr. Shaka Khan. So yes, Shaka Khan is Catholic too. She ever since she was recovering Catholic, trying to go back to her faith because she been going through some drug issues as well. That's her biz up here. But it is if you go on YouTube about the Catholic Church help the African community, and one brother said this that he glad his family took him to Catholic school because in the hood in Chicago, a lot of them folks who didn't go to school and did not follow the faith were dead. That's true. That's true. Actually, it's very true because as a Catholic Christian, I live in the hood. I wasn't raised in the hood, and my behavior, even though I'm not the perfect one, is different from those who are. And yeah, you're right about that. That's very true. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Of course, Catholics can get killed like anybody else, but many of us who are within the faith, we pray a lot, whatever, they keep us. Yeah, it's very true. But yes, and even Father Flaker, whatever his name was, the white priest. He's a pastor at that most accurate church in Chicago. And remember, I was talking about the Jose Flores case. About I told you that with what's his name, Andrew Jackson was wrong for trying to say all Mexican folks kiss you. I said in Chicago, that funeral, a little boy, the dark skinned 9-year-old that was shot by the other gang members. Remember by Thomas Yeo and Show and Lovey T talked about this story. They had the funeral, so I guess the funeral is Catholic. They had the funeral on the baby mama. The mama's Catholic or dad Catholic. But they had the funeral at the Catholic Church. Okay, usually if you're a Catholic, they have funerals. They normally don't have funerals at a private at a Catholic Church. But I don't know. Father Flaker, whatever his name is, the white priest, he allowed the funeral to be there. The little boy who got shot in the alley. What happened was the brother, which is the little boy's dad, had gotten to a shot out, did a drive-by at another people's family. So the gang of the family they used to be friends. Retaliate was to get the little boy, and the boy did not know about the problem. They called him to the alley and they shot him in the alley. Okay, you back 2015 or 16. Okay, remember the woman had a GoFundMe, and I remember hearing Thompson talking bad about the mama, and people was talking why she needed a big car. She needed a car. She went to go to Vegas to get away from there. She would go gambling. After the little boy had died, and she needed a car because she was catching a bus to go to work. Okay, and, you know what I'm saying. You know, of course, people can shop through a car, but it's safer to be in a car to drive instead of waiting on a bus and nothing retaliation. Yes, okay, they had the funeral at the Catholic Ackerman Senate Congregated Catholic Church. We're going to say as in, yes, a lot of folks didn't educate this. Let's get back to the subject. So, anyway, so yes. And actually, speaking of Los Angeles, my Creole priest, the pastor, before I converted, because the church I was visiting, he left our parish. That's why the Italian American can stand. The one when I converted was there. The Creole brother, high yellow brother, he went. Father, what's his name? Can I say his name? He went to St. Bridget's in Los Angeles, the African Center Church in Los Angeles, and was a pastor. That's yeah. If anyone know, yes, okay. Then he came back to Houston, and then he was a pastor at St. Peter Claver's church in City Gap in the hood, the northeast of the hood. Yes, the hood. But he retired. I heard. I don't know if he's still alive and anything. But yeah, yeah. I've been knowing, and I was one of the junior knights of St. Peter Claver. Yes, okay, most accurate. Because back in the day, during segregation, they didn't let many of our people be in Knights of Columbus, so we had Knights of St. Peter Claver, okay, which was in New Orleans. But the all the African City Catholic churches, they Knights of St. Peter Claver, like Azuri Junior Daughters, you know, ladies Azuris, okay, yeah. So anyone should know that. But they're all talking. Yeah, let's get to the subject. So in that area in California, Kim Winter, you're actually right. There are many Hispanic people who are Catholic in that area. However, over the past year since the 90s, it's been a lot of decline. I converted in the 90s to Catholicism. Later on met anti-Catholic Hispanics who became Protestant. So I want to sit here to say that when Lewis said that, talking about certain Mexicans said that they're getting pastors. He's talking about the Protestant. Yes, Protestantism is big in the Hispanic community. The church about the sexual scandal of not a Catholic one. This is a Protestant. The big church that Mexican, I think the Mexican American man, Mexican man from Mexico. He had a big old church in Los Angeles, and he been charged with sex trafficking and stuff. Okay, I forgot what church. That's a Protestant church. It's not a Catholic church. Okay. Um, in reading about Victory Outreach Ministries, they're very anti-Catholic. Okay. Many former ex both gang members and I'm gonna bring up gang members cliques. Soreños, Mexican, former Mexican Mafia, and Norteños belong. Many of them have joined the Victory Outreach. There's a thing called Outreach, Outcry of the Barrio. Okay, I think one of the pastors, who's Hispanic pastor, Protestant, made a documentary of it in a book. He lived in San Antonio, and I met those. And every time I never forget when I used to go to the northwest side, which is on Long Pond back in 2008 and 7, visiting in the barrios and Spring Branch. It used to be a bunch of them on the bus, and not just Hispanic ones, African American ones. And I know when I see them shirts, I'll walk past of it because I know that many of them are anti-Catholic. Um, and I'm an ex-Protestant. I'm not a big fan of Protestants. I'm no offense. I don't believe in personal interpretation. St. Peter said in the second letter. That's for Protestant because people in the Reformation days, they make their own interpretation of the Bible. That's why you have different denominations based on what they thought. So, but yes, and I know when I was working, I'll go ahead and say Andy Frame, we was at a game. So what game it was, and a dark-skinned brother from Austin who was homeless, who was living at Victor Outreach here in Houston. The Hispanic pastor, Protestant, Victor Outreach, was making the people who helped us in the security company give them his paycheck. Give him the paycheck to him. No joke. This man was homeless. He had some criminal convictions, and he was volunteering for to help us. And because they need more security officers, they would get Victor Outreach for a church who many for alcohol anonymous type, that type of drug trying, rehab, and they would go work. And and it was some white people, some Spanish, some African people, and from the north side. And I know they was living in that Victor Outreach, and that dark skinned brother told me back in 2017 that he was forced to give his paycheck to the Hispanic pastor. And I'm so glad when I never get. Remember I told you I got fired on my job 2001 with not staff force, it's through the Metal Muse, which is Genesis Private Management, when a Hispanic man married to a sister who's Panamanian, not Mexican, but I thought Mexican Panamanian, called me nigga, okay, at the Metal Muse on not too far from there, Asheville. Was it there, Asheville? Or Kirkwood? Oh, not okay. Metal Muse, Pop Man for 3 days. Okay, I was 21 years old, and the white manager, I thought was a Hispanic, he had Italian last name. Fired me too, and I didn't even get defensive, but I was slandered based on what the Hispanic man said, and I was trying to defend myself. I got a little angry. He misunderstood. Not to probably know what I was doing, but probably give it some fire. And actually, I've seen a lot of complaints on Google about the Metal Abuse and Jewish probably claiming racism, discrimination, not just African but Hispanic as well. So I'm not surprised. It's funny, almost 20 some years later, this is going on. Okay, well, I never forget. I was down on my luck, like was depressed, and a sister my color, Hispanic woman who's former Catholic. I forgot the skin tone of the sister. She wasn't too bright. They both was trying to recruit me to join the Judy Outreach 2001. And when I did the sign of the cross as we were praying, the Hispanic woman started to challenge me about my faith. She did not know that I've been studying the Bible and studied Catholic apologetics, that I proved her wrong. So when I proved both the Hispanic woman, not the Mexican, who's a former and the sister by my skin tone and the other sister, they hushed and they walked away. Dang, it was powerful. Yeah. So understand. So yes. So in that area in California, you have the Pentecostal churches. You have some Baptist churches, evangelical, who reach out to Hispanics, especially those who are involved in gangs, drugs, some type of defect. Okay, call it like it is, and the functional defect. And many of those who are Catholic are not strong in their faith. They turn into this Catholic as they grew up, upbringing. It wasn't, and they wasn't practicing. You can practice like pray, but they wasn't going to church whatever, and they did not know why they believe in. They didn't know the biblical perspective of their faith. So when they don't know their faith, a lot of Protestant evangelicals, fundamentalists, especially from the white community, and some Africans, especially from the white community, come in, harass, and then challenge them, and they don't know the answers, and they conflicted, and they give in to Protestant beliefs and become anti-Catholic. One of the biggest fighters right now is promoting anti-Catholicism and Protestantism is Fernando Vasquez. Fernando Vargas. Yes, it's a lot of, yes, and when he was at the prison, they were shot. There's a lot of Hispanics. And look at the black and brown prison. Well, some of those prisons with African American was raised Protestant. They did not look outside the box, and that's why. And the question is, if the Catholic Church made people go be Protestant, made people become gang members, why do you see African American people who are Protestant as gang members? I always ask that question. I never hear people say, when I was Catholic, I was having sex. I never forget a woman I work with. She's by my skin tone. She is Spanish. She's part Cuban and part Mexican and darker. It's called Morena. Morena, she's get mad. Stop calling me when I say La Morena pide más. We used to work at security. That's good. We used to work telemarketing company together. So I was getting my check on the southwest side. Roll the bus going downtown. In 2001, here we go. Here we go. This one ended a lot of 2001 on back in the days. And I never forget. I never thought she was. I remember she mentioned, because when I worked at the telemarketing place, used to get Houston Community Call Centers. What's 600 Jefferson on the 4th floor of a guy's called Lark. It's called, so we call Houston Call Center. Okay, and a lot of it's like things. Man, black and brown race was there too. Dark skinned man was in charge. Okay, and I saw that. I told you I actually met one of the Hispanic manager who was very arrogant. He was a Muslim. Yes, he wasn't Hispanic. He was Hispanic, but he was Mexican American. But he wasn't. And that's growing. One thing that Kim 123's don't understand. Go on YouTube. A lot of Hispanics are becoming Islamic Muslims. That's very true. Okay, no, and not just the nation Islam. No, I'm talking about Orthodox Muslim. It's no joke. See, this man is not doing his research, going along with stereotypical stuff. Kim 123. So anyway, yes. So, I never forget when I was working there and I quit. But I did see people who were, I know there was a gay guy who was Mexican American, and he admitted that he was a pocho at one period of time, like hate Africans and other Hispanics like Salvadorans, until he became Pentecostal. And he was very, and people would never get, we was talking about religion, and when the sisters thought he was was Catholic, he got mad. He said, no, shoot, no, I ain't no Catholic. I'm a Pentecostal. I'm all Christian. So, and this was, here we go with this man saying that Christian and Catholic. And I understand, who told you in the Catholic Church you're not Christian? I don't understand how it's the miseducation of those who are born Catholic but didn't bother to study their faith. Okay? And did not know that Jesus founded our church, and we are the reason why we have Christianity. Protestantism came in 1500s with Luther, okay, Martin Luther, white German monk, and others like Zwingli, John Calvin, all these white men, mostly before it was white women. I think the survey was made by a white woman in the Christian Science, white woman. But anyway, they made their own interpretation of the Bible. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what St. Peter warns us about personal interpretation and distortion of it. That's why here in the States, slavery, the slaves would not come out the plantation. Folks, look at this. In the Catholic countries like Mexico and Haiti, the Dominican Republic, where African slaves Okay, French and Spaniard. Even the Anglican Church was Protestant, but have a lot of Catholic elements in Jamaica. Many of those slaves rebelled because they knew that slavery was not godlike. Okay, no matter how many people tried to destroy it, but in the South, white Protestant South, Anglo-Saxon, those Protestant men, white men, who was raping, because I went to the Catholic Church, excuse me, hold up, we're not pure black, shut up. And this is the reason why. Who were raping because there's one drop rule, who was beaten, who was having sex with men in butt breaking, okay, who, in his sex forms, who was doing all this immorality, but carried a Bible to church on Easter Sunday. And anyone knows, lynchings mostly happen on Sunday afternoons after these folks come out of service. Most of the southern people were Baptists. That's why many African people are Baptists, because many of the plantation owners were Baptists, and if they weren't Baptists in the day, many of them joined. Like you had former Catholics, former Methodists, former Episcopalian, or any other, because not everybody was Baptist as Catholic from sin. You had a Catholic majority in Louisiana. You also had, like for example, the National Catholic Black Catholic Congress is, I think, was founded in either Virginia, Kentucky, or Tennessee, one of those states. Yes, in Mississippi, Alabama, where they had, when I went to Selma, that we had a Mexican pastor who's a priest assigned to the Catholic Church. Not the people on the van with me, but when I was riding to Selma and was in Jubilee Saturday back in March 2015, I went to man that's looking for me. He said, "Well, you didn't know where you were." I was at church because the church was in downtown Selma. While everybody was celebrating outside, I chose to go to church because I went to church for a long time. Went to confession, went to church for a long time, and went to mass. The man was Mexican American, a Mexican from Mexico, but the congregation was mixed of African American and white. None of us are pure black, but you know what I mean, okay? And that's nothing new because Creoles was, besides Spaniards first founded the southern states. Okay, a lot of folks don't know this, but Creole culture not only exists in Louisiana, but it's into Texas, but many Creoles also are known in Alabama, and many Creoles also live in Mississippi. Okay, so no, it's very true. Okay, so yeah, that's very true. Okay, so Alabama is not just only WASP. You had Creoles who left Louisiana and went to Alabama. Okay, and it's a Creole culture there in Alabama. A lot of folks don't know that. Okay, I love to educate the ignorant. But truth of the matter is, it was a mixed congregation. It wasn't just only white, only African American. None of us feel black mixed with black and American. But I'm talking about that one drop mentality, stupidness. But it was mixed. Okay, I think there's a few Asians there too, I believe. Do you understand? And the physical known Hispanic, I was mixed with Spanish Creole, but from Latin America was that priest. Okay, and so it's So do you understand? But let's get to the point is, in the South, those who are not Baptists, who belong to the African Episcopalian Methodist Church, or Methodist, or they were Kojic, which is Church of Christ, Church of Christ. Many of them also, when they in Methodist, Jehovah's Witnesses, they intermarried with a person who was Baptist and then became Baptist. Okay, that also happened as well. And also those who are former Catholics too. Okay, because even here in Texas, you have a lot of former Catholics who left. Not only was the sexual scandal, but when during the peak of Gore and Bush days, that's what I noticed. Like during Clinton and Bush, that's when a lot of Catholics was getting big. Okay, I never forget that. Like right after my conversion, later on I started seeing a lot of people distorting the prescribed Bible, like because in the 90s, the Protestant conservative culture was leading, especially after Bush and Reagan days. But I guess a lot of white people who are in those areas who are very Protestant, evangelical, fundamentalists, they started getting scared, and it's no different like in the 70s. The Watts Protestant church, right, Protestant conservative culture was going away, dying during the 60s and 70s, and what they did, they scared people. When the AIDS crisis came in, and they got Reagan back, and that's when you had the. But in the 80s, yeah, anti-Thousands was big because I mentioned the sexual scandals, but they didn't talk about sexual scandals in the private sector. They kept under hitting in the media, and everyone knows that Reagan and Bush administration had a sexual scandal with children because they was going to Boys Town in Nebraska and having sex with boys and also girls there. But also too, the only person that got arrested and convicted was the big old hot light skinned brother who had an insurance company. Lawrence King, or as Larry King, no, not Larry King, the Jewish guy. See, this is different from Larry King. I can saying who wear light skin. He was on the national anthem for Reagan's inauguration. Okay, that big old brother. He was part of the Black Republican something organization. He was having sex. Yeah, he was always wearing some fancy suits and some fur. Yeah, that fool. Him and a bunch of white guys from the Bush administration and the Reagan. But it's weird that it was kept that undercover, but they kept talking about the scandals at the time. Because I remember hearing, but it wasn't as big because a lot of folks went to mass. Like when I went to church, it was packed. At my African Creole Catholic Church, it was packed. Okay, they had a gospel choir. Yes, you know what I'm saying? And I never forget back in 1992 when I was still Protestant. And it's funny because I had to ask MC Hammer or Assy Hammer to legit, please don't pass me by. Okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I never forget 12 years old at 10:30 mass. And it was, yeah, they was singing, while, at the end of the song, they start singing, please don't pass me by, and right after they got communion. Yeah, okay, that was some good old days back then. And I remember going to Bible school in 1992, and we had sisters from Mother Mercy Church, which is in Fifth Ward in the hood, okay? And my uncle went to school there. My dad's brother went to school there back in the 50s. He was living in that area at the time. My grandparents on dad's side. And he was Catholic. And he became Baptist later on. My grandmother made him Baptist. I don't know how that happened, but my dark-skinned uncle, yes, he was Catholic, okay? He went to Catholic school there at Mother Mercy in the hood, okay? Okay, and I know in the hood, okay. And so, yeah, cause that was like the Mother Mercy and some other churches was like the only ones that sell African people were doing segregation days. Yes, and but yes, a Mother Mercy church. Okay, anyway, but point is, we had 3 nuns from Mother Mercy, and one like a Hispanic woman, and she was light skinned Creole. Everybody probably thinks a Mexican woman, but she's Creole sister, high yellow. The one was also Creole, dark skin with straight hair, wavy, had so-called good hair. Those who want to use that term. And other had a jerry curl. She also was Creole, but she had a jerry curl. They were from New Orleans, and they came to Mother Mercy, and they came and visited our parish for Bible school in 1992. And I remember we had an African, because the Creole priest was on vacation. So he had a Nigerian. Now the Nigerian priest was cool. That Nigerian priest was Nigerian, from Africa. And there's a lot of Nigerian Catholics, okay? A lot of them joined the Josephites. The Josephites are the African Synod, priests, clergy, for African Synod ministry in America, United States. So, but going back to concerning Mexican and Kim 123, a lot of people don't know that during that time, that's when I started seeing very anti-Catholic presence. Like a lot of, especially when I was in Hispanic school, you had a lot of Pentecostal, girls wearing long dresses, not cutting hair. I remember getting one dude who was a gangster back in when he was in the middle school, but this dude became, I don't know if he's a Baptist, Pentecostal, some evangelical church set, and Protestant evangelical, and he would carry a Bible, and big old Mexican American dude, and I never forget, he was gangster back in the day. You seen his clothing, and he thugged out, okay, back in the 90s in middle school, because he graduated in 97. But when he was in world history class, world geography class, and he was in 10th grade, and I never forget, he said he was some type of I forgot what prize when he would carry a Bible, and I never forget, he was asking me, "Are you gay?" And I said no. He said, "Good, I'm glad you're not good. We'll work together because I would kill you." So, okay, so I never forget that. So, and you had many folks that who were for example Jackie Velasquez who played in Chasing Poppy. She got a lot of criticism for playing Chasing Poppy. She's an evangelical Protestant in her family. Her parents. She's from Corpus Christi, where Selena's from. And speaking of Selena, Selena was not Catholic. Selena Quintanilla was not Catholic. She was Jehovah's Witnesses. Actually, it was a controversy of her because the people Jehovah's do not believe in blood transfusion, and I heard rumor has that Chris Bettis was upset because he's not Jehovah's. I think he was raised Catholic, but he's surprised. I don't know what religion he is. However, when she got shot, he wanted her to get blood transfusion to live. The parents, especially the dad, said, no, we don't believe in that, we Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's when the secret came out, they were Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay? Selena Quintanilla was Jehovah's Witness. She was not Catholic. She was not Catholic. Okay? Speaking of California, Jean Rivera was not Catholic. No, she's not. She's Presbyterian. I remember watching I Love Jeannie. She's Presbyterian. Okay? Her sister, Rosie, right? The one that was raped by Jeannie Rivera's first husband, Chicky's dad raped. Not bringing up anything tragic, but it's a true story. Never you watch it on I Love Jeannie and Chicky Robinson. It hurt me when I heard about this back in, I don't know, watching on back in 2009 or 2010 on Moondos. It really hurt me. And Rosie was her name, Rivera. She is the youngest sister of Jeannie, and she was having testimony because she's a minister. She's a Protestant minister. What happened to her when Jeannie was married to her first husband? Her first husband not only raped her youngest sister, who was still a minor at the time, and Cheekies. So that debunks the art right there. Not every Hispanic is Catholic. Okay, yes, historically due to Spaniard colonization, but even today, I never forget Houston Chronicle in 2017. I'm talking about modern day when I say today, not back, but it was back then. 11 years ago, really hurt my heart when they blasted the Ali Guadalupe Day and made an anti-Catholic news article on Houston Chronicle and mocking the church down there at the Second Ward LA Guadalupe Church, okay, about the holiday, saying that, and just being anti-Catholic, okay, and yes, and it caused a big uproar. This is during Bush son days, okay, so before Obama came in, okay, a lot of anti-Catholicism happened, and a lot of Hispanics are not Catholic, okay. So when Lewis, conservative Mexican, was saying pastors, in his barrio, a lot of people are Protestant as well here in 123. It is a big thing going on since the 90s. Before the 90s, but I noticed in the 90s, especially when the gangstering got big, a lot of white people who are Protestant was going to African neighborhoods and also going to Hispanic neighborhoods. And one thing they had a conflict was that their interpretation did not match. Meaning it was anti-Catholic, okay? Because the reason why anti-Catholics got big over the years, due to a lot of Hispanic immigrants, along with Asian immigrants from the Philippines, and Vietnamese communities who are Catholic, African immigrants who are Nigerian, other Kenyan were coming in along with Europeans, the Protestant is declining. Protestant is declining. A lot of people like myself who left Protestant because we did not like the false interpretation we got. Also, a lot of spiritual abuse went along with it. People storing the Bible, and also the history. Of course, we know the Catholic Church has been racism, but we know the Catholic Church doctrines goes against the racism. That's teaching doctrines, okay? Dogmas do not go along with that's the difference. But in Protestant doctrines, men there were racist, especially here in America, that defend white supremacy when it came to white, and actually Martin Luther King had learned this. A lot of white people who are Catholic and Jewish who were against segregation was on Martin Luther King's side. If you see them marching Martin Luther King along with African ministers, What he had an issue with was in the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant South was people like Pat Robertson and Jerry Falwell, who white Baptist ministers, who was against, who didn't want their kids integrated, and also was racist. So do you understand? You know what I'm saying? So when I can see people, when you hear people say that the slave mentality in the religion, it's because in doing slavery to convert the slaves, they used the Bible and distort the Bible in order to keep them controlled. Do you understand? So do you get what I'm saying? And even Harriet Tubman, when she had her own church, but she didn't look at the Pauline letter. She looked at the Old Testament where Moses, and when she was trying to get the slaves out the plantation, the slaves was using Bible verses that they was taught by the master to not leave the plantation. Do you get my point? So you see, I can say people can place it with a cool mentality of white supremacy, and they try to use religion. Even with Tina Campbell, when it came to Trump, she said that Trump was a Christian man. Okay, and Jason, do you understand why? Now, as the reason we got candidates who voted for Trump, yes, who are money hungry and white supremacist control, and also the Pope even said that Trump was not Christ-like. And a lot of those white Republican Americans who are Catholic, like the Bill O'Reillys and Sean Hannity, this is a secret, y'all. They do not like the Pope. Okay, when the Pope attacked capitalism, these white Republicans who were kissing butt to white supremacists in the Protestant faith, who are Catholic, okay, along with their Jewish buddies, they got in their feelings when Pope Francis went against uh, uh, capitalism. Okay, okay, and they call him a socialist, whatever. Okay, and even those Hispanics. When I argue with those, okay, I never forget. I always hear this part. When I was Catholic, I hated black people. Did you read in your catechism in your Bible that we don't supposed to hate anybody? And I never get. Well, I'm a Christian now, and I'm Pentecostal, I'm Baptist, I'm whatever denomination, non-denomination, whatever, but still Protestant. Okay, but now do you see that many of them are who are Protestant, who are conservative, voted for Trump, who are Hispanic? Do you understand? And one thing, as the I'm not anti-Protestant as in people like go attack someone, but when it comes to the religion, I am very anti-Protestant. Okay. Many times I'm not curse here, but when I say F the church of the Bible, I'm talking about the interpretation. Okay, not the Bible. That's different. Because that's why I went through abuse with my own family due to distortion of scripture. Okay, the destruction is St. Peter said in the Bible. Okay. And yes, sexual abuse goes on in both Protestant and Catholic faith. However, the church never defended sexual abuse. There's a difference. But in Protestant churches that doesn't have to have this happen, they would distort Bible verses and say that this is justified and you should not go tell laws and twist 105 Psalm about touch are not anointed and everything else, okay, which is a false interpretation of that too, okay? And you see those Catholic priests who do that, that's called heresy. If the Pope found out about it, they'll be excommunicated and flogged. And the reason why this mess is going on is because the bishops do not obey the Pope. Even the one who's black and German, the nun, I'm going to do a video about that. She said by Pope John Paul, before he died, that many there was racism in the Catholic Church, and many times he told the bishops to stop the racism. Okay, however, in America, the bishops are very disrespectful to the Pope, and they're very disloyal and disobedient. They didn't listen to that command. So if you have stuff going on in the Catholic Church, sexual scandals, it's actually the bishops and the priests' fault. And the thing goes on is a rascal play, and it's true. When you're a parent, when you're a child, your parents say not to do anything, okay, and you smile in their faces, act like you're obedient. But when you're not around, you doing other things. That's what's going on. And so I get my point. So and that's what happened here in the Tri-States Americas were bad Catholics when they left from Europe. If they did that mess in Europe, they would got arrested. But they got away with it because the Pope far away, don't know what's going on, and they give them a false report that's going on, but actually doing some ratchet stuff in the Americas. That's what goes on. So that's all I have to say.